Okay, welcome to another 3-point edit tutorial, and I thought we'd look at adding text or keys or supers to the VSE. So when you want to put a straightforward little title or something like that, lower third super, onto your edited video, there is a couple of ways to skin this cat, and I guess the easiest way is with the 3D view, as I've used here. Anyway, let's pop back to the video editor, the VSE. Normally, of course, it looks like, well, a bit larger, it might look like this. What I would like to do is add another strip on top of this video clip underneath. Yes, the audio is the wrong length. I didn't bother with setting up the frame length correctly, but for this demonstration it should be fine. I'd like to add maybe a lower third key here, maybe write something in here. There's nothing that we can actually do with effect strips or anything like that. There's no add super, or you could create a keyed asset in a paint program with an alpha channel and then drop it as a strip on here and then move your key, etc. But then you wouldn't be able to animate the contents of the key in any way, like curling up the text or changing its color over time, etc. But of course you can do that in the 3D view. So let's duplicate a window, and sorry for the mouse movement, I'll try to reduce that as I can. Let's duplicate out a window here. Duplicate area into new window. There it is. And I'll resize this to something like this. Floating that window, we'll move that one across. I'm just creating another workspace so I can work interactively with the 3D view. Of course, because I'm going to set up another scene here, we won't actually be editing in sync with the video strip, unfortunately. What am I looking for here? Info. There we go. Now, what I'd like to do is add another strip at the bottom so I can put a key on here. So what I will do is create a new scene. Over to my new scene, copy the settings, assuming that I want to retain the same sizes. I don't have a camera, so let's add a camera first. There we go, camera, move it up a little bit. You can choose whether you want to have an orthogonal camera or a 3D view camera. Press 0. Now what I'll do is add in some text. Here we go, it's early in the morning for me. Scale, drag that down with the G key, tab to edit. What will I put in here? Maybe the name of the building, so new building. Tab to edit out. Of course, if you were sensible, you may have set up some properties for this already, which I haven't done yet. So let's go over to properties. I'll give it a new material, shadeless perhaps, keep it white, maybe change the face color slightly blue, something like that. Change back to 3D view. Now I can add the effect strip, add a scene strip. Oh, no, we haven't renamed a scene. Let's rename a scene. So, lower third super 1. Of course, you probably want to be more descriptive than that, maybe with the title of the key. Let's add that. Scene, lower third super 1, G. Now if I animate this, maybe we can create another timeline down here. You notice when I scrub this one, it does not scrub on the other timeline. Unfortunately, sync lock went away some time ago. But let's go back to the beginning and G, constrain X, slide that out of shot, make that a keyframe, location keyframe, move in 1 second, G, X, slide it in, and keyframe again. So that does that. Terrific. Over here, can see it in real time. Change this to, whoops, alpha over, but because I'm in OpenGL preview mode, can't see it. So but as you'll notice over here, whilst I still have the animation, unfortunately it's not keyed, the background. That's because our scene on this side is not set up appropriately. So let's have a quick look at the properties for this scene, and we can see under shading that whilst we probably don't need ray tracing or environmap or some sort of scatter, but we do need textures and shadows. The problem is our alpha is set to sky, not transparent. Now sky must be black at the moment. So let's turn on transparent mode. Nothing happens, but when we activate the other window it will. And also let's look at post-processing. We don't need the sequencer because we're not using it for this scene, because remember this is its own unique scene. However, we might want to use the compositor later, so we'll leave that active if you want to value add the kinds of effect that you're getting on the text. Let's click back over here now. There's that key. So now we're getting a keyed background. I'm not sure why it's flickering like that. It seems a bit odd. Go back to the start. And because we've initiated that animation at the beginning, we know exactly where it is. We can drag it. We can drag that scene strip, whoops, anywhere along to start our animation at the most appropriate place. Now of course if you think that it doesn't stand out very clearly, you could also change that so that there is another item behind there. Let's try plane, scale, move it down, 0 to go back to the camera view, G, scale again, scale X, make it a bit bigger, scale Y, GY, and let's have a look at the material. Of course you have another window with materials would be helpful, wouldn't it? So another new material. Let's make this quite dark, make it transparent. Click back over here. Looks pretty good to me. Of course we just need to animate that as well. So come back to 3D view. I for keyframe. GX, slide that off. Of course I could have constrained it or parented it or something like that, I guess. Probably would have been more effective. But anyway, now we've got a slide, and they're both sliding. They don't slide together. Probably a constraint or a track 2 would have been better there. Come back to our other side, update, and there's a slide. And of course, if you're not entirely happy with where this is located on the screen, you can always move your super around the screen as well with offset and other add-ons like the transform function add-on, which is very helpful for easily clicking and dragging things around the screen. But there you go. So there's a straightforward super title using the other features of Blender in separate scenes. So we've made a separate strip just to create text. And I think that was pretty straightforward. It's not terribly difficult. If you wanted it to be a scrolling, let me see, if we want it to be a credit roll, the credit roll is a little bit more involved. Let's duplicate this, go over to this window. Oh, making lots of displays, not scenes. Let's try copy settings. Oh, I should have done a full copy. Let me get rid of that. Let's try full copy. Right. Let's call this credit roll. Get rid of our... Oh no, let's keep the black box. Scale Y. This. This time clear keyframes, click background, clear keyframes, edit this. Well, let's see, start with director, me, camera, me, sound, me. Okay. So tab out of edit mode, go back to the start so we know where it begins, scroll down here, keyframe location, I want it to last maybe 100 frames, scroll that up, keyframe location. The only other thing about the keyframes, let's have a quick look at the graph sheet. It's Bezier curves, don't want Bezier curves, so let's change key interpolation, handle type? No, interpolation type, linear. There we go. So now it won't slow down or ease out as it passes through that curve. Back to 3D view. Just constant speed all the way through. If we go back here and add our scene for credit roll, you can see the credit roll's up there. Ooh, wasn't it king? That's because cross type we need to go to alpha over. Again, there's our little black border. And a roll. So I'll come back here, play. And depending on the speed of your system and the kinds of resolutions that you're dealing with, you'll get better performance this, what have you. So there you go. Quick demonstration of doing straightforward keys and titles using Blender's inbuilt functions, I suppose, and very basic without any additional add-ons. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Hopefully we can add to this in a future tutorial, maybe add some effects like with the compositing, etc. Of course, that will slow down the system. You won't get your real-time animation, so I would probably disable the compositor whilst you develop your movement on screen. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you.